Mr. Phil Elverum.
Phil Elverum.
Phil Elverum.
Today on Radio Tintin, we are joined by one of the icons of indie rock. He's the man behind the cult classics of The Microphones and Mount Eerie. Here's Phil Elverum.
Hi, I'm Phil Elverum from Mount Eerie, and you're listening to Radio Tintin.
Throughout his entire career, Elverum has crafted his own completely unique side of the musical universe. At just 23 years old, he dropped one of the most influential indie albums of all time, The Glow Part 2. And now 23 years after that release, he's come out with his latest album, Night Palace. And with it, he's continued to showcase his unique style, as somehow these two songs are on the same album and from the same artist.
So what I saw another raven, actually see him all the time.
With songs as just hellish as Swallow Alive, along with so many of his other just chaotic songs, I wanted to ask him, how does he come up with these ideas?
I think that's just what I hear in my head. So I'm trying to find the idea find/make the idea exist that I already hear in my head. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's not like normal sounding music.
But it wasn't exactly in his nature to make an album with such opposites, as his album before this one was literally a single 44-minute song that was made up of only 4 guitar chords.
Normally I want things to be like strong and cohesive and whole, but for Night Palace I wanted to see what would happen if I just was like collecting pebbles, and putting them together. And of course they're gonna hang together in some way, but the cohesion was more like mysterious with that one.
One of the main beliefs that fuels Elverum's music and life is the importance of imperfection, which he believes is just too rare in today's world.
It's been the main thing, I think. It's all imperfect. Maybe I'm getting old, or maybe it's a thing from like the 90s, but to me, I feel like when I was, like 20 or something, the music around me, and the music of most people my age was pretty raw and imperfect. There was more of a tolerance, and I think that came from technology. I think that maybe once everyone had a computer and a phone and these tools, that it makes it so much easier to like record music correctly and eliminate all the mistakes and the noise and the human touch, that just sort of people forgot that that human touch is so important. There are still people making like really raw stuff, but it's almost like exaggeratedly raw now, because even like underground music, I've noticed, like people that they just have like a 5-song EP on Bandcamp or whatever, but somehow it's like produced so perfectly. It sounds like if I heard that in 1991, it'd be like, how did they get the money to record this? But now it's like so easy to make quote unquote perfect music. Anyway, my mind was formed in the era where like sloppiness and human touch and imperfection was important to feature prominently. And I'm weirded out by how clean everything sounds. Also, people's singing is so pretty. What's up with that?
The impressive thing is that this rawness has always been at the core of his music. And no matter how much success he's garnered, Phil has always stayed true to himself in that aspect. He could have allowed himself to slowly bend to the strong will of the music industry to reach so many more people and make so much more money. But no, he consciously chose not to.
I've just kind of been careful to maintain my own weird little corner off to the side and not really participate in the music industry as a whole in a way that feels like it's not like it's beyond me. You know what I mean? I don't work with other labels, or I'm small, so I'm I'm liberated to just do whatever I want, because also I don't really follow music very well, so I don't even know what the expectation would be. Also, it would be embarrassing to try. Like, I know how to do one thing, and that's just like what I do. So I do my one thing. If I were to try to do something that would like be well received or cool, it would be embarrassing and it would not work.
And over the years, Elverum's released over 40 albums, which is just an insane output. So I asked him what surprises him and makes him come back to making music after every single release.
Yeah, good question. Each time I make a record, I'm like, that's probably enough. but some months pass and then more ideas come. So my ideal is to be engaged with some kind of art practice, whatever it is. If it's music or something else, I don't know. But that's like who I am. That's who I want to be. That's the life I want to live until I die.
The honesty with which Elverum makes his music and lives his life is truly something I think we can all be inspired by. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, a big thank you to Phil Elverum, and make sure to subscribe, as we'll be back very soon with another episode of Radio Tintin.